Are any means necessary in the context of war?
They called us a shadow government. She, as a Muslim woman, has to wear hijab, being funded by other countries. There will be freedom of speech. Countries want to impose their culture on the Afghan people. There is no revenge. Come to your country. Things contrary to the Islamic rules will not be allowed.
GZT olarak Taliban Siyasi Büro Sözcüsü Süheyl Şahin'le konuştuk. Şahin sözcülük görevini Katar'ın başkenti Doha'da yürütüyor. Kendisine uluslararası medyadan da aşina olabilirsiniz. Her zaman sorulan sorulardan farklı konuları ele almaya çalıştık. Uyuşturucudan para kazanma iddiaları, Afganistan'da kadın hakları, ülkede müziğin geleceği, Afgan göçü hakkındaki politikaları ve İran'la ilişkilerini konuştuk. Today we have a very important guest, the Taliban spokesperson of political office, Mr. Süheyl Şahin. Thank you for joining us from Doha, Mr. Şahin.
Thank you.
My first question is, how bad was the situation in Afghanistan when you took over the country, and how will you proceed to progress? What are your advantages and disadvantages on this matter?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. Amma ba'd. As you know, the situation in Afghanistan was that our country was occupied. We had occupation, and our people fought for 20 years against that occupation. And the second goal, our goal was to establish an Islamic government in Afghanistan. So every day during the occupation, about 100 people were killed by the occupiers and their supporters all over Afghanistan. All the decision, whether they were political decision, economic decision, social decision, in any field, those decisions were taken by the occupying forces. The Afghan people had no role in those decisions. So when we took all the districts and provincial centers of Afghanistan, it means the Afghan people took their land, gained their independence from the occupiers. Now they are in a position to take all those decisions themselves. So there is a lot of difference between being independent Afghanistan and an Afghanistan under occupation.
You don't want any foreign troops, any foreign element that can interfere your internal affairs. But there will be some investments and foreign aid from the neighboring countries and the UN. Also, many think that you are supported by China against Americans. Mr. Zabihullah Mücahit also told the reporters that China is the most important economic partner to put mines in operation and to reach the global market. And it's a huge influence. But how will you draw the fine line between investment, interference, and aid? For example, how will you balance your relationship with China?
Of course, we want investment of other countries. And any country of the world which wants to make investment in Afghanistan, we welcome it. About that our relation with China, it is a neighboring country, and we have a relation with China for many years, and the only concern of China is that the Afghan soil is not used against China, and that is also our policy and the basis of Doha Agreement. We are committed not to allow any group and any individual to use our soil against other countries. So we will be focusing on reconstruction of Afghanistan, and if China comes forward and to help us and help our country and our people, they are of course welcome.
How would you respond to the accusations of making money from narcotics? Are any means necessary in the context of war?
Yeah, if you know, during our role 20 years ago, we had brought narcotic trafficking and poppy cultivation to zero. And now our policies to stop narcotic poppy cultivation and also now narcotic trafficking. That's our policy. But at the same time, we will work with UN and other countries to provide substitute projects for the farmers. Alternative livelihood means, and we will work on reducing poppy cultivation step by step with the help of international community and UN agencies, and in order to bring them to zero. And also we will take steps for prevention of narcotic trafficking as we had done in the past.
And what will be the polity in Islamic Emirate? Is it democracy, for example, an aristocratic one, or is it different than those?
Our polity is an Islamic government, but with participation of other Afghan politicians and all ethnicities. But at the same time, there will be freedom of speech and also progress in regard of economic development, prosperity of the people. All those we will have in the light of Islamic rules.
Dozens of Afghan women have demonstrated in Herat to demand their rights to employment and education. But you keep insisting that women can work and study. Also, one of the main TV channels in the country, Tolo TV, was able to continue their broadcasting with a female host. In the light of these events, how do you evaluate these reactions and protests about women's rights?
We do not have any problem with women's access to education and their access to work. But you know, some of those demonstrations staged against us are provoked and funded by foreign circles in some given countries in circles. So it is not more about their access to education and work rather than being funded by other countries. Already, as you know, we have announced any women can have access to education. She can go to work and to receive education. But of course, she as a Muslim woman has to wear hijab. That is it. So there is no problem about her right. So I think all Afghan women and Afghan men, and it is a Muslim society, they want to have their culture and hijab as per the Islamic rules.
Which countries do you mean that are funding the protests in Afghanistan?
You see some of those countries who want to impose their culture on the Afghan people. They are provoking such kind of demonstration. Otherwise, if they say we want education, so we have not denied. Of course they have. So why these demonstration of calling, of raising slogans, we want to go to universities? There is no problem for that. So, but that means if they are still demonstrating and staging demonstration and taking to the streets, is because they have been funded to put out demonstration in order to show to the international community, to other countries. So look, there are women, they are not happy with this new Islamic regime.
My next question is about Afghanistan National Institute of Music in Kabul. It's a hot topic in both Turkish and international media that people express their concerns about banning music in the country. What is the deal from your perspective?
So all those things which are not Islamic, while we establish an Islamic government, but all those things which are in the light of Islamic can be allowed. They will be allowed. But those things that are contrary to the Islamic rules will not be allowed. I don't know. I don't have details of what you said, but as a general framework, this is the framework.
You have declared an amnesty for all Afghans who worked with foreign forces. What are the margins of this decision?
We have announced a general amnesty for all those who are working with the foreign forces or who are working with the former Kabul administration. So it is a general amnesty. There is no risk to their property, to their life, and to their honor. It was necessary because we want the Afghans to have tolerance with each other, to have a peaceful coexistence. And we know there were people among those who has been forgiven that they had killed tens of our people during the past 20 years. But still we have granted amnesty.
The political atmosphere between Taliban and Iran has changed since 2010, and they predicted your victory in those days, I think. And it seems to me it's a very strategic dialogue between you. What do you expect from this relationship? Does it get worse, like in the past, or is there a chance to get even better?
Iran is our Western neighboring country. We have a very long border with Iran, and during the past years, Iran supported our cause. We hope they will help us in rebuilding the country, and also we hope that our relation will boost in the coming years. That is our expectation from Iran, because the good relation is in our interest, in the interest of Iran.
What are your comments on migration from Afghanistan? Will it stop? What will be your policy about this?
Yes, our policy, we want all those people who are leaving Afghanistan to stay in Afghanistan, because we do not want the brain drain take place. These people are educated people, qualified people. The new Afghanistan need all those people who are going abroad right now. We are calling them that there is a general amnesty. Your country, while we rebuilding the country, need you, need your capacities, need your capabilities, and it is better to serve your people and rebuild your country rather than going in another country. And while you will not have an honorable life in other countries, while you will have it in your country. So, but still, if they are going to abroad in any way, if they have a passport in visa, they can go. But our expectation from them is that, and we are calling at them to stay there in their country and help to build our country together and unitedly, helping each other.
The world is divided between two, basically, who believe the US lost the war, and those who believe it was a strategic withdrawal and the Taliban and the US are cooperating on some issues. My question is, Why do you think people believe that the US cannot lose a war?
One is the people analysis. Everyone has his own or her own analysis about the war in Afghanistan. It is up to them. But only I want to touch on the ground realities. The ground realities are that we fought against the occupation in the USA and its allies for 20 years. And we offered hundreds of thousands of our lives in the way of liberation of our country. But still, they were not able to win against us, because this resistance was the resistance of the people of Afghanistan. When they killed hundreds or thousands, 10,000 welcome to the field of battle, fighting for their country, fighting for the liberation of their country. So we wanted to liberate our country, whether it is through military approach or peaceful means. So we reached an agreement and they withdraw from the country. Now it is up to the people, their analysis, what they can call it.
The whole world, even Americans, admire your spokesperson's way to express themselves. And we saw also some Taliban fighters in an amusement park enjoying some quality time. These were the scenes the whole world wasn't familiar with. My question is, what have you done since 2001 to develop yourselves? Apart from military fighting, it may be culturally, artistically, or intellectually. Besides being soldiers, who are Taliban?
Yeah, Taliban are the people of Afghanistan. They are not from anywhere else. They are not a foreign phenomena. You can see what I'm wearing, what I'm speaking with you. If you go to a rural area, to a village, you will find those people the same as I am. So, and also for the last 20 years, we had 50% up to 70 to 80% of the territory of Afghanistan in our hand. And we were controlling those areas. We had governors, we have police chief, we had the judges. De facto, we were a government. They called us a shadow government. So during those 20 years, we were gaining a lot of experience of administration, of governing. We were at the political field. We had a relation with other countries. We participated in many international conferences, which was convened for a solution of the Afghan issues. So we, of course, we have gained experience. That is why it is easy for us to run the government of Afghanistan.
Finally, this interview will be published in Turkey. What would you like to say to Turkish people and Afghan refugees here?
I say to the Turkish people, they are our brothers. We are Muslims. We are brothers, and we hope that the Turkey have a great role in the construction of Afghanistan, and I hope we Afghanistan Turkey have a good relation in future. We have historical ties with Turkey. I want to continue those ties, to not only to continue but to strengthen with the passage of each day. And about Afghan refugees in Turkey, we are calling on them, Afghanistan is your homeland. Please come to your homeland. You are welcome. There is no revenge on you. amnesty is granted to you. We are brothers. We are not like the former Kabul administration who were detaining us, arresting us, torturing us, putting us behind the bar. But our arms is open, embrace is open to you. Come to your country, serve your country and your people, and lead a normal, not an honorable life in your prideful and historical land, Afghanistan.
Thank you for participating in this illuminative and informative interview with me. Thank you so much, Mr. Şahin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Süheyl Şahin'e ulaşmak hem kolaydı hem zordu. Röportaj teklifimi çok hızlı ve kibar bir şekilde kabul etti ama randevuyu almak, tarihi belirlemek 1-1,5 hafta kadar sürdü. Bütün dünya Taliban sözcülerinin kendilerini ifade etme biçimlerine hayran kaldılar. Ve ben Sayın Süheyl Şahin'le de bu röportajı gerçekleştirirken aynı hisse kapıldım. Siz izlerken ne düşündüğünüzü bilmiyorum ama ben bu şekilde hissettim.